Hi, I'm back. Chapter 41. Most big kids are slow. Most fast kids are little. That's where I'm a little different. I'm big and am fast. In sports, I like to beat people by plowing them under, like football. And next year I'm going out for wrestling. But in the spring there aren't any contact sports, just baseball and track and field, so I use my speed in track. Even though it doesn't look it, track is kind of like football. Sure, there's no ball, and there's no shoulder pads, and nothing in your way except for the string across the finish line. But you can demolish a kid just as much by beating them in a race as by plowing him under on a football field. It's about the first thing you do when you're little kids. You race. And the kid that wins, bam! Right away he's the fastest, he's the best. Walk into any neighborhood, anywhere in the world, and ask some kids who's the fastest one there, and right away they'll tell you. They'll point to him. It's something everybody knows. It's a title that goes with you on your street, your school, your town. Fastest kid. That's me. We had race-offs today. The top 3 will run the 100-meter dash in our first track meet. I won. I beat the 6th, the 7th, and the 8th graders. The coach says he's surprised at how fast I am for being so big. He was also surprised at who came in second. Webb. He said he can't remember the 2 fastest runners ever before, being both from 7th grade. I wasn't real surprised at Webb. I still remember that time when we were 6, we raced to the mailbox and back, and how close he was behind me. In the race-off today, he got a great start. He was out ahead of everybody. I guess he's been practicing his starts too, but you don't beat Crasher the Dasher with a great start. I caught him at the 50-meter mark, and the rest was history. By the way, you can hardly see the mouse house anymore. It's deep in the bushes. There are leaves piled up around it, and the windows have pink flaps over them, cut out from an old wash rag, but there's still no one living there. And the Chemlong guy has not come back. Chapter 42, April 15th. Jane Forbes came up to me after lunch today. She was mad. She stuck a scrap of paper in my face. "Did you write this?" she asked. "Huh?" I said. I took the paper. The words were in big black letters, all capitals. "If you ever want to see your turtle again, be sure you eat meat in the cafeteria on Monday. I will be watching." "Where'd you get this?" I asked. "Pen gave it to me." "Did you write it?" I gave the scrap back. "No, and don't go accusing someone unless you've got proof." I walked away. A little while later, we had our first track meet against Donner. In the 100 meters, Webb was out fast again, and again I passed him halfway. Me first, him second. I didn't even wait until the meet was over. I didn't take a shower. I got dressed and ran all the way to Mike's house. His mother let me in. She said he was in his room, so I went up. "Where is it?" I said. "Where's what?" he said, like I was loony. It wasn't out in the open. I looked under his bed. "Hey, man," he squawked. "What are you doing?" "Only junk under the bed." I went to the closet, checked the shelf, checked the floor. There it was, in a computer paper box. I took out the box. I lifted the turtle and turned it over. There was the name Thomas carved into the bottom of the shell. "You didn't even have food for it, Mike," I said. "It was a joke," he said. "I would have given it back." "I'll just save you the trouble," I said. He stepped in front of the doorway. "How come all of a sudden you're nosing up to Webb?" "Move," I said. He stayed put. "Is he feeding you oat burgers or something?" I didn't answer. He thumped me on the chest. "Huh?" He thumped me again. "Huh? Is he?" I stood still as a rock. I knew what he was doing. He wanted me to thump him back, like I always did. Locker room buddy bowls. He thumped me again. "Huh? What's going on?" I thumped him back, only it wasn't what he expected. The heel of my hand hit him square in the chest and sent him butt first down the hallway floor. He ended up against the bathroom door with his Christmas sneakers pointing at the ceiling. He forward rolled to his feet, fists up, nose flaring, but he didn't come any closer. For a long time we just glared at each other. Then his fist went down, his shoulders drooped, his voice whined, "Crash, what is the matter with you?" "Figure it out," I said. I went downstairs and out of the house. I took the box with the turtle to Webb's. I left it on the back steps, and I knocked on the door and ran. On another note, my father went to mow the grass, but the spark plug was now gone from the mower. Chapter 43. April 16th. Scooter came home today. Chapter 44. It's Penn Relays Week. They go from Tuesday to Saturday. Middle schools run on Friday. The coach ended practice early today. He took us to the classroom and showed us movies of pen relays of the past. The coach says the pen relays are the oldest, biggest, and best relay track meet in the world. Over 15,000 people compete. That's bigger than the Olympics and more than the population of Springfield. There are races for 4-year-olds, 80-year-olds, and people in wheelchairs. I'll tell you, I was surprised. I thought only pro football and baseball games get crowds like that. For our meet with Donner last week, yeah, there was 2 people in the stands. You guessed it, Webb's parents. The relays are held in a big double-decker stadium called Franklin Field. As the runners tear around the track, the sound from the stand goes with them. It's kind of a low, windy sound at first. Ooh. Then it gets louder and louder like a hurricane until the runners bust off the last turn and head for the tape. Then the whole joint goes bonkers. Along the first row, they're groping at the runners and practically hanging from the rail by their feet. In the upper deck, they spill over and dance on top of the scoreboard. It's like 100 touchdowns scoring at once, and that's just one race. As soon as the last runner crosses the finish line, they start another and another all day long. By the time the film was over, I could see why Henry Wilhide Webb III wanted to come back. The coach turned on the lights, but instead of dismissing us, he started to talk. Boys, we have our own little pen relays tradition here at Springfield. I don't especially care whether we win or not. I've been taking teams to the pen relays for 16 years now, and we've never won the suburban middle school race, not once, and I intend to continue that perfect record. Everybody laughed. To me, running in the relays is a reward. It's my way of saying thank you to those who have stayed with the program and put up with me for 3 years. More laughing. In other words, the 8th grade sprinters automatically make the team. Now, we need 4 sprinters for the 4x100 meter relay team. We've got 3 8th graders, Huber, Knowles, and Caruso. That means there's 1 spot open. On Wednesday, 6th and 7th graders will race off to see who gets that spot. He let that sink in. I could feel the eyes. I knew what everybody was thinking. I knew what I was thinking. The spot is mine. Suddenly he clapped his hands. Okay, everybody, go home. I stayed in my seat. Half of me wanted to look at Webb. The other half was afraid. When I finally did look, he was gone. Scooter lives downstairs now. The den is up in his old bedroom. His sea chest is waiting for him. He uses a walker. It's this 4-legged thing that he pushes ahead, steps into, like that. It takes him 5 minutes to cross the living room, but nobody's complaining. He gets tired a lot. Abby and I are still allowed to climb into bed with him, but we have to do it early and we can't stay too long. We did it for the first time last night. For some reason, I sort of thought that once the 3 of us were back in the bed boat, everything would be the same again. But it wasn't. Scooter still only says one word, "Ah-bye, ah-bye." I'm trying to get back to the old safe-in-the-bed boat feeling, and I can't quite make it. Before it was like Scooter was the captain and we were the mates. Now it's turned around. We're the captains, and you don't feel so safe being the captain. We will stop right there. Chapter 45 is in another video.